I would never have done any of this without YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't have ever gone to theme parks for free. I wouldn't have done reviews for parks. I wouldn't have overcome
Yeah.
my fears. It's all there because this platform really.
Some guests are serious, some are really funny. What are you waiting for? Come and get this honey. It's absolute bedlam, absolute bedlam, absolute bedlam. Join the hype, like and subscribe.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Absolute Bedlam podcast. I think potentially we're on season 17 now, but as I say most weeks now, I don't really care. Because I'm on like episode 350 at this point. I don't know why I did seasons. I think the Americans forced me to, and then I just kind of went with it, and now we're stuck. But yeah, so tonight I've got Dan, the chicken coaster. Coaster chicken, sorry, my bad. I've got my
Oh,
notes wrong. Oh, this isn't a good start, is it? And I met you kind of through my friend Matty, who was a big watcher of your YouTube channel. And
well,
he
legend.
he hooked me up and said like this guy's always online and he's a bit different to what you usually record. So just quickly, to sort of get this started, can you introduce yourself and say what your YouTube channel's about?
So I'm the coaster chicken. I guess at the moment I'm in a weird transitional phase. When I
Mm,
started because terrified of theme parks. They were always a thing that, like, as family, we went to,
mm,
and like I loved the idea of them. I loved like the theming and the dark rides and stuff like that. But after a little exposure to a coaster that I had a bad turn on with my
mm.
dad at 10, wouldn't go on anything. Went
Yeah.
to that point where the little kiddie coasters wouldn't even go near them. But my wife, she loved theme parks, and she would drag me to like Alton Towers, our local park, and she'd be like wanting to go on everything, and I'd have to sit there and carry the bags, or I'd
Yeah.
kind of go on the kids' rides and be a bit. It's a bit embarrassing into you taking someone you're romantically interested in. And you go, should we go see the CBBS land? And it's like,
Yeah.
so I guess I started taking, like, when she started to take me, I started taking pictures and
Mm,
videos of the stuff while I was waiting, and just started putting that out on Instagram. And
mm,
people started talking to me, interacting, saying like, "Oh, are you trying to brave it? Here's some tips." And I just thought, well, I might film my journey. And I guess it became this thing where I used it as a crux, really, to say, "Oh, this week I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and overcome this." And then I've got the camera in my face, and sometimes, in the end, the video ends up with you going, "No, fear beat me. I chickened out." But then every so often, you'd have like this moment of like completing something that feel amazing. The
yeah.
adrenaline's there, and got this video as well. But obviously, at this point now, I've conquered pretty much all of the things I was scared of.
Mm,
So yeah, I guess I'm now just doing the kind of the reviews
mm,
and trying to help other people, I guess, is now my big thing.
mm. Do you think it's lack of control when you're on a roller coaster that you don't really get to sort of choose how fast you go and which direction you turn in? Because I feel like I've got this horrible negative feeling when I'm on a big roller coaster like the Saw ride at like Fort Park, where I'm like, right, 999 times this ride's been fine, but I think I'm going to die.
That's it. That's always the mental thing, isn't it? That
Mm,
I think what happened when I was 10, like we'd always gone to Alton Towers as a family. My dad was really excited about getting us on the rides, and there was Nemesis, this big. It was the first big coaster like that my dad wanted to get me on. It was the first one that goes over your shoulders. And I
mm,
will be honest, I wasn't a
mm,
small kid. Um, Done a lot of work on losing weight, and I am the kind of size I am now. It's huge. I'm not. um, and it was so tight. I only managed to get one click at the time, but it was this first experience, and I felt like I was dying. And I passed out. I woke up. I threw up everywhere. This was during the ride,
mm,
and like, after that, like I thought I was going to die. So every time I've done something since for the like even the little kind of kids runaway mind train things in my head, I'm like, yeah, I could die. This could be it. And
mm,
it was so bad that where you're thinking, oh, what
mm,
if I'm on Saw and I die? In my head, I was thinking, well, if you're on Saw, that train comes off
mm,
the track and hits me. That's how bad it was. It was
mm.
like
Mm.
it was, and I know it's like ridiculous and that's
Yeah.
never going to happen, but that is there. That irrational fear is always there, and
Mm.
it's took a long time to get over it and conquer an irrational fear.
I think it comes from sort of the sense of flying as well. Like, I'm not a huge flyer. I don't like it, but sometimes you have to get on a plane to get to somewhere quicker. There's a film I watched ages ago called Gangs of New York, and they talked about going from the UK to somewhere in America. I can't remember where, but they were talking about they were taking a boat, and it was
Yeah,
just mad. Like it was like 4 days to get to the destination, whereas now you can get on a plane and you're 6 hours in. Do you know what I mean? And I thought to
that's
myself,
the
like,
thing.
yeah, like technology's evolved so much and safety's evolved so much, and yeah, sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do. But I suppose in your situation, roller coasters, to me at least, are a very vocational, hobby-based, thrill-seeking, fun time. But yeah, hmm,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have touched it if it wasn't for the wife. And then now the problem is I'm addicted. You know what I mean? Like we're
yeah,
in the off season at the moment, so obviously the UK parks are all closed, and I'm so bored. I'm so
hmm,
miserable. Like we're going to Germany next week to get on some more
cool,
roller coasters just because we got nothing to do in the UK, and it's so weird that like
yeah.
probably 4 years ago couldn't have thought of anything worse.
Hmm. Do you think that
And
you've
he,
kind of gone on a little bit of a journey with like, is this like a sense of overexposure therapy where you're like documenting this to kind of to face your fears and make yourself more accountable? Because it's very easy to not film this and say, do you know what, I'm not going to Alton Towers again. Or if I do go, like you said, I'm going to be pushing the pram or carrying the bags. Whereas now that you've got a following and you've started uploading videos, you kind of, I don't know, it's like when people get like sponsored by companies like Gymshark and then they have to stay fit.
and
They
this is it, yeah.
cannot be
So
caught at fucking KFC at 3 in the morning chugging
so
loads
last
of,
season
yeah.
we got a partnership with Alton Towers on their
Mm,
content creator program, and
yeah.
they got a new ride. Now this isn't something I'd do myself normally. It's like it's a flat ride and it spins you around, lifts you up, and all that kind of stuff. Not for me. But they had an event for the creators, especially for them, and you got to film on the ride.
Mm,
Well, that was it. I was kind of forced into doing it. I've only ever done it the once. I can't lie. The
mm,
video I come off and say, look, that was too intense for me. One and a done. But yeah, that was. I had to do it because you've got that feeling, you've got that partnership with the park. They can hardly invite you to it, and you go,
mm.
yeah, I'm not going to ride it though. I'm just going to watch. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's totally
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to book the venue to play the gig. And if you've got like a sense of stage fright as a musician, then you've either got to do or die. And yeah, I did see that you've uploaded the creator thing. Was that the video that you just referenced? The one, was it last night you uploaded that?
No, so basically, this program ran for a year, and
Right.
Alton Towers did various things with a select number of content creators. And this
Yeah.
program was supposed to be them giving you backstage
Right.
information and access to the park that people have never had before. And from the get go, because it was kind of only X amount of people could get on this program and they were
Mm.
chosen by the park. Obviously, people weren't happy, people were upset and stuff like that. It ran for a year and they've canned it. And I've got to be honest, I think the budget was never there. Like the
Mm.
first event they ran was amazing. They pulled up all all frills. It was so good. And then everything else became like budget and you
Yeah.
could tell that just the money had just gone. But there were so many kind of misinformations going out there about what this program was supposed to be about, and
Mm.
like that we were being blackmailed to put content out. We were being told what we could film. So I just, when it all came to a close, I just thought, you know what, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I'm just going to say it. Also, did a quite long video where I just
Yeah.
babbled on about the whole experience and what it was like for me, because I've heard so much kind of stuff from people who are never on this program telling
Mm.
people that, oh, they had to do this, they weren't allowed to do that, they had to lie about this and that and the other.
Right.
And it wasn't like that. It was just literally us filming stuff.
Just looking because I did watch one of your videos about the scare maze. And I think you got free access to that as well. And I think you actually said in one of your videos that, oh, is it Stour Bridge?
Derby Scare Maze. Yeah, really
And
good
you
that one.
you said in the video, like, I'm just going to be completely honest, and I think like that's the problem sometimes is like I have this weird thing with like occasionally I'll throw up like a review on the channel just because I haven't got any guests booked or I'm like 3 weeks out from the next bit of content and stuff. And sometimes I've been super, super like privileged to get stuff sent to me, like beer or rum or chili sauce or whatever. And I always feel this sense of like, I really don't want to like shit talk these people, but you have to be 100% legit with what you're going through because I've seen some beer channels that have like reviewed like really, really successful beer like Hawkston and
Yeah.
it's flat as fuck. And they're like phoning it in and being like, oh, this beer's amazing. It's so lively and so fizzy. And everyone in the comments is like, no, you just want to speak to Jeremy Clarkson. And it's so funny. Sometimes people are like, imagine like you vlog like going on a roller coaster and you're genuinely not having fun. And then the next frame is you coming off the roller coaster going, that was amazing. And people can see that shit a mile away, can't they? So I
Oh, well,
think
that's
with,
it,
with
right?
any
So,
content program, you've just got to be honest, haven't you? And be like, this could be better, this was really good, and I had a great time.
was it was like there was literally during Halloween there was this event, and I've got to be honest, every creator like in my space was so excited about this event. It was a Halloween event, but they were using film IPs, so they did one based on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one based on Winnie the Pooh,
Hmm.
but they had a terrible opening day. They weren't ready. It was like a building site,
Hmm.
and you could see the people who you could tell the difference between honest creators and people that just wanted the freebies because there's so many saying, "Oh, this is the most amazing thing
Hmm.
ever.
Hmm.
It's brilliant. That's great," and you see it in like the videos, everyone else's videos. It's literally like a building site, and in the end, this place ended up kind of closing before Halloween even kicked in because it went bust. So
Yeah.
like all these people have put out these amazing reviews that for an event that was like piss poor, it's mad. So yeah, you've got to be honest, aren't you? But it's
Yeah.
tough because you don't want to lose the
Yeah.
privilege that you have got, the kind of the special. I'll
Yeah.
never forget one
Hmm.
one one time, few years ago, we were invited to a park in Ireland. It was just having a rebrand, so that's why they wanted creators there, called Emerald Park. It was owned by a crisp company beforehand, and they kind of sold it on. So they invited us down, and I was pretty excited. I've got to be honest. I thought, oh, this is going to be a good one. Never really been invited anywhere before, so it was like really
Hmm.
exciting. However, I had a sickness bug that day,
Okay.
and the whole video is just me walking around this park feeling absolutely sick, like genuinely like throwing up in bushes, and
Wow.
it's not a great review, is it? Over by the Raptor field, I've thrown up a few times. It's the first time in 20 years. I feel so rough.
No,
Um,
but yeah,
and
it's
it's
life,
a
isn't it?
shame. Like the
Yeah.
video did really well because everyone wants to see someone walking around looking ill and dying. But yeah, it wasn't giving the brand any. And it was
Yeah.
really a shame because they once they'd seen the video, that was it. We never heard back again. We were like, oh, what a shame. But
Yeah.
I could have put nothing out, and then they'd have
Hmm.
been like, we've had this freebie for nothing, or I
Hmm.
could put out a video where I go, well, this is the park, but I am dying in a bush here, so
Yeah. 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 I'm quite into Pokemon Go. I've been into it for like the start of downloading it as like a dodgy APK file before getting it on the App Store. And I see this a lot with content creators that go to a lot of the Niantic, which is now called Scopely events. And I think one of the things that they say to their creators, because they get a notable trainer meet and greet, and I've been to a couple of them and they're fantastic. But Niantic seem to be like, just be honest with if you had a good time or not. Because I always noticed with like meeting these notable trainers that I used to always say to them, like, have you actually had time to play the game? Because we're currently circling the area that you're sort of penned in. And they're like, oh yeah, we get like 3 hours at the start of the day before the park actually opens, and we get 3 hours after the event finishes, and we actually get to go around and catch all the Pokemon. But don't get me wrong, a lot of these people are like full-time Pokemon Go YouTubers, so they've got basically every Pokemon that you could ever care about. But I think that's like super important because when you start turning this into like a potential job, then your what you say really seems to matter and your influence can really, if you've got like a supercharged audience and you say the new Autumn Towers Park ride isn't very good, then you might actually sway people's opinions and they might end up going to like Legoland instead because you've said, oh, the new remix of this ride that's come back isn't very good. And I think sometimes, it's that whole like Peter Parker thing, isn't it? Of like with great power comes great responsibility. And it's like, yeah, do I really want to like slag off this huge company? And obviously, if you slag them off, like you said earlier, that there's a chance that you might never actually get to speak to them ever again. So it's a tricky balance, isn't it?
It is. I guess I just try and be as honest as possible,
Yeah,
and but I am pretty positive. So like, we have really a good balance, me and the wife, because
yeah,
she's really negative. So anytime we go anywhere, whether it's invited or not, if she thinks it's rubbish, she's kind of going into why it's rubbish. While I'm quite a positive person anyway, so it's got to be really bad for me
mm,
to say it's bad. You know what I mean? I can always go, well, this isn't great, but this is good. This is cool. So yeah, we do have that kind of yin and yang, I guess. So it's
yeah,
never that bad. Even like the worst park days we've ever been to,
yeah,
I can try and couple of positives and spin. Oh well, this is good and this was good. Yeah, this isn't for me, but it might be for you.
yeah,
Her on the other hand,
yeah.
she'll rep whatever it is. So quite lucky in that respect.
How many theme parks have you been to that aren't in the UK? Like, I've been to a couple in Salou. I can't remember where the place is, but there was a Ferrari land
Yeah,
which
I've
had
been
one
there.
of the
Portaventura.
fucking craziest rides I've ever been on. It was like twice the size of Stealth. And my ex-partner at the time, there was a video, like there's a playback video, and I genuinely thought she was about to fucking end up on Mercury, bro. She was like literally like coming out of the seat. I was like, fucking hell. And we also went to the other part of that, which was Portaventura, I think you said.
Yeah,
And there's a ride there called Furious Baco, and it's fucked. It's so fast, and you go like over this like lake and it's like a movie because you see all the stream coming up sort of thing. And yeah, I felt like I was super safe, but I just had this horrible feeling that like the UK's got like a gold standard of health and safety, so these other parks outside might be a bit dodgy. But have you
yeah.
sort of ventured out and felt that, or am I just sort of talking for the sake
See,
of
I've been
it?
pretty lucky, I guess. So when
Yeah,
we went Portaventura, I was quite early in this journey. So literally, I didn't do anything. Like, so Furious, I got in the queue for Furious Baco, got to the front, wife got in it, I got off it. So, and she did come off, and she knew I was quite early in, so she was like, "You would not have enjoyed that. That rattled me around so much. I thought my
yeah,
brain was going to fall out." She did the big one, the Shambhala. She did that one. I
yeah,
couldn't brave that. And then
yeah,
yeah, she did Red Force, and there was no way. To me, that park was a bit of a waste of a day for me because that's pretty much the only ride, isn't it? There's a big
yeah.
drop tower that I wouldn't touch either. So it was like
Nah, that's the
I was
one
just
I
looking at the
can't.
Ferraris.
I can't do those ones. They scare the absolute shit out of
No,
me.
still,
There's
yeah,
an
that's the one
Angry
thing.
Birds one at Fort Park, I think, and I can't even do that because I
Yeah, I'm the
just
same.
cannot handle the fact that that is gonna actually break just before. I can't do that. Like that's my actual like line of thrill
Yeah,
seeking.
that's the only thing. Like, yeah, I still can't do drop towers. There's a
Yeah.
little kids one at Thorpe. I don't know if you've seen it. Like, it's just randomly near the stealth depth charge one.
Oh
But it's
yeah.
just a kids one. I can do that, but that is literally one of them where if you get on it, you feel like
Yeah.
yeah, take
What
my
was
weight away.
what was the ride that you mentioned with Furious Backer? You mentioned another ride then.
Shambhala,
Yeah, so I think that's the one with the crazy amount of loops. And I don't
yeah,
usually suffer with headaches, but after that, that was like our last big roller coaster of the day, and my head was spinning. And my friend, who's like really like is Matty that I'm talking about, the one that
yeah,
scheduled all of this and said I should check you out. He was like, let's go on it again. Because like there's a sense of like once you've conquered your fear, you get this sudden endorphin boost and you can just go back on it and think nothing of it again. And I was like, I don't think I can actually handle that. I think I'm gonna be sick if I go back on that. But the theming of that place, the Portaventura place, was really, really good because it's like an Eastern
beautiful,
vibe.
is
And
really, isn't it?
yeah, there's like this big sort of area that looked sort of very sort of oriental and really cool. But after that Shambhala one, I kind of had to sit down for a bit and reassess my life and spin some Pokestops because that was a lot for one day.
I play Pokemon Go every day.
But
I've
there
just
was a
started
couple of.
Pokemon Go again.
Have you? Awesome.
Yeah, well, I hadn't played it for so long, and then Christmas Day, I just had this urge. I thought, you know what, I want to check it out. But it'd been so long that I loaded my account up and it just froze.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, great. So I had to just restart a new one.
yeah,
So we're going to, like I say, we're going to Germany. I'm looking forward to going to my first theme park with Pokestops because
nice.
um,
Yeah, there's
we-
lots of them, especially like Disney parks and stuff. There's just Pokestops everywhere and gyms, but they're very heavily contested. Because if you put a Pokemon in a gym for 8 hours, you'll get 50 Poke coins, and everyone wants the
that,
free Poke coins because the alternative to that is buying them with real money. So, but yeah,
that's it at the moment. I'm putting stuff in here because obviously there's closed season, it's quiet, and they're in
Mm.
for weeks. I've had one Pokemon that's
Yeah,
now been in for 3 weeks. Like, oh, come on,
yeah.
somebody knock it out.
So hopefully no one from Pokemon Go's listening to this, but there is a little secret that you can do which create another account and have a different color, and then you can kick yourself
Oh,
out of gyms.
that is a good idea.
But if you're in like 9 gyms, you'll eventually come out. But the problem is sometimes all 9 come out in one day and you only get 50 coins for it.
Oh, yeah, that's what's
But
happened today. I've
yeah,
lost about 5 of them. Like, oh, great.
yeah, yeah.
Still got one in for 3 weeks though.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy times. I've seen some people that have like gone to like Hawaii and gone to this like remote island and put in a gym, and I'm like, how's there a gym there? And they've got like
Wow.
2 years and they're not going back there anytime soon. So sometimes they have to like speak to a dodgy spoofer and get them to like fly out there.
I
But
didn't know
yeah,
that was still a thing because when I first
yeah,
started playing, it was big, wasn't it? But
yeah. Everyone wanted to like get all of the sort of regional ones and collect everything and speed run the Pokedex sort of thing. But it's not so common now. But yeah, I imagine going back to it after a couple of years, there's like this feature overload where there's now like
oh yeah,
trading and there's loads of
it's
like
like a whole new
social
game.
aspects to the game and stuff. But yeah, I've been a bit of a day one with that, and yeah, I really enjoy it. It's good fun. Gets me active as well, which is nice. Yeah, awesome. So with your channel, I've watched a couple of your videos and I like to go to the beginning and check them out. But I noticed with your videos specifically, you have an average runtime of 57 minutes to 1 hour and 15 minutes. Have you ever thought of making series videos that are like part one to part five and potentially dropping them down to doing like 5 12-minute videos? Because the reason I ask that is people's attention spans nowadays are through the floor. And I don't know if that would actually change the way that people would view your channel, because obviously an hour, this is coming from someone that runs a podcast, is a hell of a lot of time. So have you ever thought about that in terms of optimization for the stuff that you film?
Sure, I'm like that. I'm one of them people that films for me, and like
Mm,
I struggle with editing it down. I do
mm,
like I know like some of my videos run so long, and in my head I'm going, I don't want it to be this long, and I'll cut this and I'll cut that, and I'll think, so I wish I hadn't cut that bit. Um, I'm one of them people that I don't know, like who will watch a 4 hour film. You know what I
mm,
mean? There's nothing better than putting Lord of the Rings extended edition on to me, or
mm.
you know what I mean. Watched Oppenheimer for the first time the other week, and I thought this is great. Like
Yeah.
people say, oh, it's very long, and I was like, well, no, it didn't feel long.
Mm,
So yeah, I make stuff like that. The wife's like the TikTok generation, so she's there kind of doom scrolling. So I am trying, I've got to be honest, I'm trying to get on TikTok. I'm trying to make these videos that are like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm hoping at some point that helps me kind of fix the other end because I know my videos go too long and um, it's hard to get people to buy in all that long kind of
mm,
length. But it's such a tough one. I'm hoping doing
mm.
these micro videos over on TikTok where I review something a park in like a minute, 2 minutes will help kind of the longer videos come down because it's
Yeah.
just kind of cutting it into a series. I don't know,
Mm,
like I worry that people won't have the buy-in to keep watching the episodes. Like when
mm.
we go on big trips sometimes to like California or Florida and do like a whole kind of stream of them, and you'll find like the first couple of videos people are watching, engaging with, and then when you get to like episode 6 or 7, it's fell off, and you're like, well, now it feels like that was a waste. Where if you do them as all individual videos, the views are still there, but
Yeah.
obviously the watch time isn't.
I think this happens with every YouTuber though. Like even PewDiePie when he did like a 10-part series of like the Amnesia playthrough or Alien Isolation or there needs to be like a level of jeopardy. And there's a guy that I watch quite a lot who I'd love to get on the podcast so much, and he runs a podcast himself called The Yard. It's a guy called Ludwig, and he did a he did a Japan trip with one of his friends on a motorbike, and he referred to it as the tip to tip challenge, which always makes me laugh because I'm immature.
Yeah.
And the first episode of that got like 3 million views in 48 hours, and then you see this gradual decline of this trip. Obviously, he's doing it because he enjoys the trip and he enjoys the vlogging experience and the fact that he was like by himself. Like if the motorbike broke, he had to fix it and he had to get on with it like Top Gear style. But I think sometimes when you do series, unless you've got this like constant like, oh my God, this could derail the whole thing, then people aren't necessarily as invested as if they watch the whole thing in one chunk, It's like trying to eat a whole meal rather than just biting around the edges of the side order. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Yeah,
It's just, I think I put it all out in one go because then in my head it's done. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's so much sometimes. Like this
yeah,
time of year, I could probably do something like that because it's so quiet. But what you tend to find with theme parks is it all happens all in one go. So
yeah,
you're doing all videos for the new investments, and it's one of the things where you've got to try and get that content out as soon as possible. It's a race, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're kind of on the end of that race.
Mm,
Nobody's watching those videos. Who's going to watch a video about a brand new par when they've seen 600 of the same one? It's dead hard.
mm.
You sometimes having to try and find some kind of unique way of putting a video out. And even then, you sometimes just don't get the views because you're too late to the game.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
all about just speed running it. So sometimes I just film
yeah.
something. If it's an hour and 10, whatever, it's up there, it's done.
I see this even with like food reviews, where unless you're the first person to review the new KFC burger, the impact drops so quickly because you think like KFC and beer and McDonald's burgers and stuff, they're so accessible. And it's like, why would I want to watch someone else eat? Or why would I want to watch someone else go to a theme park when I can go myself? But it's really tricky, isn't it? Because unless you're like in the top three, like in terms of response times, the time sensitivity of things, it can get really, really tricky. And you think to yourself, like, I really want to edit this and make this really, really polished, but I also need to get it up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Sometimes I
yeah,
put quantity over quality.
yeah,
Definitely, you're going. I need to get this video from this brand new ride that opened today out before this guy does. So
yeah,
yeah, if it's rubbish, it's rubbish. But at least it's out. You know what I mean? It's a
do.
shame. But everyone does it. Like
I know what you
you were
mean.
saying about reviewing the KFC burgers. There are people within my kind of niche who go
Yeah,
out and review that, and it's like, well, where's the brand? Where's the kind of narrowing up? Like, I'm not going to
yeah,
watch a guy I've watched go to theme parks for years eating a
yeah,
KFC burger. I'm not bothered.
yeah,
But they're all
yeah,
trying to get in on some kind of new niche to try and get them extra views.
yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that is just trying to keep up with trends, regardless of if you actually care about what you're doing. Yeah, and I think this is where a lot of reaction channels fall down because YouTube literally doesn't know what to do with those channels. Because one minute you're reacting to Sleep Token, and the next minute you're reacting to the new Eminem song. And
Yeah,
YouTube doesn't know how to categorize you because you're just reacting to stuff. But yeah, I've always thought of like mixing up my channels and like I do rambles, which is literally me in my car talking. I do podcast, I do food and drink reviews, and occasionally I'll go like on a trip to like a coastal place and I'll like I'll just walk around. And I think my maximization and my optimization would be so much better if I had four different channels.
yeah. I've got
But
friends who do
yeah,
exactly that. They've got 4 different channels, and
it
you've got
just
to subscribe to
sounds
each one.
sounds like so much admin though.
The
Because then
thing is,
I'd
I
need
love those kind
yeah,
of videos, like you're saying there, where you go to. I watch so many of those where people go to like a
yeah,
coastal town, and but your videos aren't flagging for me because it's not that channel. You're not putting that channel out there, are you? While
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting like some guy that's all he ever does, like walk with me Tim or whatever. He's coming up all the time.
Yeah. And I think at this point as well, I've got pretty good authority after being on YouTube for so long, and I'm sure you're the same. Nearly 98% of traffic comes from recommended.
Yeah,
It's absolutely crazy how much that system works. And the amount of times I actually go out of my way to like search for a specific YouTube channel when my algorithm already knows the next thing that I'm going to watch. It's almost like you're sort of fighting the tide of water. And
yeah,
yeah, it's really tricky. YouTube's a very fickle beast sometimes because it almost
very
doesn't know
decisive.
how to recommend you, so it doesn't recommend you. And there's something crazy, like I think it's 40,000 hours of content gets uploaded to YouTube every hour,
Wow,
which is
that's
just
it.
fucking nuts. Like I can't even imagine Google's data centers. Like it must just be pinging every single second of every single day. But
It is
yeah,
just beautiful that it gives everyone this
yeah,
kind of platform to do stuff. Because
yeah,
I would never have, I would never have done any of this without YouTube.
yeah,
I wouldn't have ever gone to theme parks for free. I wouldn't have done reviews for parks. I wouldn't have overcome
yeah,
my fears. It's all there because this platform really, where you don't have to be like friends with everyone. You have to be talking to everyone. You have to be
no,
like interpersonal. You can just create a video on your own and throw it up there, and people will
yeah,
watch it.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Who made your channel logo, and how often does that person fiddle with the chicken coaster thing? Because I saw at Halloween you did the ghoster chicken, didn't you? And you kind of changed the sort of narrative on it, and I really like stuff like that where it feels fresh. And but yeah, who made your channel logo?
There's a guy called Andy. I've got to be honest. I met him through a theme park. He worked at a theme park, and I was like filming there, and like he just really liked the story. He created it me out of nowhere, made it for me, and at the time I was just using some pictures I'd taken as my backgrounds and for everything, and it was just so good that I was like, "This is amazing." I've got to be
Yeah,
honest. Every so often, he'll just message me and go, "I've had a thought. I've had a feeling. What do you think of this?" And yeah, like you're saying, whether it's the ghost of chicken, a couple of Halloweens ago, it was Beetlejuice.
mm,
I've got a Santa one out there as well. So yeah, every so often he'll just come to me and say, "Oh, I've had this feeling for this. What do you think?" He's done me like backgrounds and
mm,
stuff. So
mm.
amazing. He does really good work, and like I've got to be honest, he started doing it as a side project, and I was like, people would ask me, "Oh, who does this?" Because I'd love to have the. And
Yeah,
he was doing logos for other people. I don't think he does it so much now.
mm,
But yeah,
mm.
he's really good. He's really talented.
Yeah. I've had this duality recently with my editor that I'm like actively promoting his services, and I always put his email address in the description of the videos and stuff. But then I'm like, but he's mine. So
Yeah,
I don't want him to suddenly like start editing for Will and E or the Sidemen because like his availability is going to fall off a cliff. So
yeah.
yeah, I never like say to him like I want a finder's fee if you suddenly start editing for a streamer or something. But I'm just happy to sort of shine a light on people like that because I think my current editor, Jamie, is fucking ridiculously talented and I definitely don't pay him enough, but he's just happy to do it. And he runs his own podcast as well, which is called The Chronicles of Podcast. And they get a lot of actors and musicians and
Oh wow.
puppeteers and comedians and stuff on. But yeah, he's just happy to come along for the ride sort of thing because before him I was really struggling to find an editor and he came
It's hard
along at
to
a
do
really good
yourself as
time.
well.
Yeah,
Like
well,
like I
it
do
would
mine sometimes. It's
it would completely encompass my entire existence, I think. And one of the things I've realized recently is I'm actually not a perfectionist. So, like, if you are a perfectionist and an editor, that's like you're an architect of your own destruction because you're just constantly
yeah.
tinkering. And by the time you've edited it and got it up on YouTube, like you said earlier, with time sensitivity, it's going to be 2 months late. And sometimes you just have to punt it out and hope that it does well and move on to the next project. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
tricky, isn't
100%
it?
most of my content.
Yeah,
Just edit it and hope for the best. Get it out there
yeah,
as soon as you can.
Just a quick reminder that you're listening and watching Absolute Bedlam Podcast. Please, please, please drop me a subscribe and a like and comment down below. Thank you very much. Get on it. Tell your mates. Tell your dog. Tell your family. Cheers.
Absolute bedlam. You kind of mentioned a second ago that there's a couple of channels that have inspired you to do this sort of content and helped you on your journey. And I imagine there's a lot of people that, I see some of your Instagram stories and you ask questions to your community and stuff, and you seem to get a hell of a lot of reactions to it. And it's really cool. It's a good level of interactivity I think you've got. But is there any sort of channels that you frequently speak to on YouTube through means like mobile numbers and Instagram and stuff? And are there any
Yeah,
sort of channels that you want to give a shout out to?
so yeah, literally this whole kind of thing became a proper thing because we made this like such a strong group of friends.
Mm.
They were all like the same thing, just starting out on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, and like talking to each other, helping each other out, and like I say, I've got a best friend now, genuinely, called Dale. They go by the name of the Coaster Capturers, him and his wife, and they both kind of create content. I do a podcast with him, not very
Yeah.
often, and we'll try to be more frequent next year. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Next year, it's the 12th of January.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I've got
January
300 days.
That's it. I've already said this year's a write-off. Don't tell him.
Jesus.
Any
Yeah.
excuse to find.
Yeah, watch this and find out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Watch this and be like, oh, I don't have to do anything now. I've got another friend called Steve. They run a channel called Thrills and Food.
Mm.
The nicest family ever. They travel all over the world, and they've got like silly numbers now across things like Facebook and YouTube. Absolutely insane. But the whole thing started as friendship between these people, and kind of it's just so nice that we can still be friends. Like Steve on Thrills of Food genuinely like earns enough money on YouTube that they could quit the jobs if they wanted.
Mm.
But they still have time to kind of talk about who won the wrestling last week. It's just really lovely. Like,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I feel YouTube, if you're just doing it in complete isolation, it can feel quite lonely, whereas it really doesn't need to feel like that. Like we're all trying to push each other up and we're all trying to sort of, it's like Heart Attack, if you remember that show, where you're
Yeah.
just constantly being like, check out this person and check out this person and come this way and all this shit.
It's all
It's
about paying it
a bit
forward,
mad.
isn't it? Like
Yeah.
so many people have like helped me.
Mm.
Like I say, Andy with creating me logos and people giving me ideas for things, and I've got a catchphrase that somebody helped create. I'd never kind of thought of it myself, and but yeah, it's all about kind of paying it forward. If the amount of people who kind of comment on my content, and I just make sure I put it forward and kind of pull other people out to their content. So just make sure you check out them; they're really good, and
Yeah.
because that's like saying there's so many people that we've fell into the trap of thinking we're friends with, who were only interested in the kind of
Yeah.
content or views and stuff like that, and then everything comes to light, and all of a sudden the friendship completely dissolves, and you're like, hang on, what's gone on
Yeah,
here?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's all about kind of paying it forward to the people that are there for the right reasons, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I always wonder what the best way to convert your audience to another audience is. And I think sometimes it might be QR codes because everyone says this on YouTube, man. Everyone's like, yeah, check out Danny's video in the description below. And I think if I'm watching on TV, then I'm not going to check out the description. Whereas if I'm watching on a mobile phone, I might. Whereas like
times you watch a video and go,
yeah.
Oh, I've used this person's footage, or this person's got a great idea, and then you go,
Yeah.
I've never seen that video, because it's
Yeah.
when you watch Elliot, there isn't a click on, is there? There's not.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think at the end of your videos, there's like cards that you can like click on this video or click on this video. But a lot of the times people just use it to promote their other videos, because YouTube's just this huge back catalogue now of, I started 3 years ago and I've uploaded every 2 weeks since, and before you realize it, you're on 600 videos, and yeah, it can get quite sort of do you ever really have like time to sort of relax and reflect on what you've done with your channel, or do you
So that's
just
the thing with,
go?
yeah, for a theme park enthusiast in the
Yeah,
UK, this is that time. So at the moment, I'm kind of going back through old titles. I've just literally like sifted through like the very start of my channel and gone through kind of the titles and tried to optimize them a bit. I'm looking at thumbnails just because there's literally not a lot to do.
yeah,
Um, all the parks are closed, and people live off kind of creating these news videos in my niche at the moment. So it'd be like,
mm,
oh, this is happening, or this could be happening, but
yeah,
it's not evergreen content. Somebody's going to watch that
yeah,
now, but not going to want to watch it next year or the year before. And
mm,
sometimes I put a video out, and a video will do rubbish at the time, and then
mm,
a year,
mm,
2 years down the line, 5,000 views come from nowhere, and you're like, oh, because somebody was interested in that place you reviewed, or that
yeah,
event you went to, or that ride that's just closed down for good. You know what I mean?
mm,
And it's tough to kind of find that evergreen content, that content people are going to keep coming back to.
yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes people look back at places like Fort Park, Alton Towers, Drayton Manor, etc., because they want to experience the nostalgia of when they went. And then they
Yeah.
might want to check out one of your more recent videos and they see the transformation of the park and the fact that people listen to feedback. And, sometimes theme parks bring back old rides, don't they? And they like remix them or, now with extra loops and, you know, it's trying to just
Well,
stay as relevant as possible, isn't it?
one of the first videos I did on my channel, kind of during an off season on the first year I was doing it, was used Google Maps and went back in time to Alton Towers and just walked Google Maps through the old park. And it was like,
That's
oh,
cool.
wow, yeah, yeah. And there's so many people like in the comments saying, oh, this is proper nostalgia. This is amazing. It's just a shame, obviously, that Google Maps couldn't let you do more and kind
Yeah,
of see different years. It was just one specific set of years. But
that's
yeah,
cool.
it was so cool to be able to go, well, this is what it looked like in 2011, I think it was. And it was
Mm.
like, this ride didn't exist yet. This whole area's gone now. And it was really cool. And people get that. There's the nostalgia, isn't there? Like, and
Yeah.
there are rides, like Disney is all about these classic rides that have been there for 50, 60 years. And people
Mm.
keep going back. They're not expecting it to be any different. They want it to be classic. They
Mm.
want Pirates of the Caribbean and Big Thunder and stuff.
Here's a question that I've not gotten written down then, but off the back of that, do you actively seek video ideas and titles, or do you get emails from event promoters saying this is happening in June, and you go, that's my blue thread that I have to follow?
A bit of both, I guess. So in your head as a creator, you're always thinking about the next idea. This year we're going Vegas at the end of the year, and I've decided in this probably not very funny way that I'm going to spend my whole entire my video is going to be something like I gamble my whole entire YouTube year's revenue on one spin. I'm going to take whatever it
Fuck
is,
me.
spin it, and see how it goes. Um, but that's it because it'll be
Could
fun
be
and
a
people might want that. You know what I mean?
27-second video.
Yeah. Well, you never know. We could be millionaires
Yeah,
by
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. I
No, probably not. But it'd be fun. It'll
yeah,
be fun, and but you think about these. Like I've got some videos that I filmed last year,
yeah.
ready for this year, ready for specific dates, and
Mm.
you've at the time you're thinking you go to a park on one of your days off, and you think, I want to make this video
Mm.
for next year because like April Fool's Day is one I've done. I've got one
Yeah,
for April Fool's Day planned. I've filmed it. I've edited it. And it's just
yeah,
sitting there on the back burner waiting for April Fool's Day.
yeah.
Boom, it'll be on. So yeah, sometimes you have to plan it. Sometimes places will contact you, go, oh, we've got this new event. Last year, we had an amazing time on the channel. There were so many like places inviting us that I'd never have dreamed of.
Mm.
We did a high ropes course. Now, I'd
Mm.
have never thought I'd ever do a high ropes course. And
Mm.
when I was up there on the high ropes, terrified,
Mm.
and I made a tit of myself. I looked awful. Lindsay, the wife, bossed it, but I'd have never dreamed of going to this place.
Yeah.
And it was just one of them where they said, "Oh, we would love you to come and experience it and review
Mm.
it. Would you come and do it?" And I loved every second of it, even if I was a quivering wreck. But then other
Yeah.
ones, you kind of think like Halloween's a big one for me.
Yeah.
My channel was the best during spooky season, so like September to November, but it's all about researching which events you think people might want to check out, what's
Yeah.
new, contacting them, seeing if they've got any like content creator opportunities and what
Yeah.
they've got, what events they've got going on, and just trying to get like literally this September, October, we probably had about 4 free days in the whole month where we
Wow.
weren't kind of going after work to an event, or I was
Yeah.
having to have time off to go and visit something over the weekend and somewhere a bit further away.
Yeah.
But it's that grind, isn't it?
Yeah. It's all got to make logistical sense as well, unless someone's literally willing to like fly you out or like a car will come for you. You know, it's still your fuel going into your car, and you know, you've got to put up with the fatigue if you've got to drive for like 5 hours to go somewhere. And yeah, there's obviously a lot of opportunities with this specific type of content that you're making to, you know, make it more than just a hobby, but it's got to all fall in line. You know, you see bands, they tour up and down the country, and you'll always see that it makes logistical sense for them to do the most optimized way possible. Because, you know, some bands though, man, they literally come over to the UK from America, they play one show and then they're gone again. And
Makes
I'm
no
like,
sense, does it?
what? Like, don't just play Manchester or London. Come on, come down to Bristol or Southampton and we'll have a fucking right time. But, you
Like, how
know,
much money must they make from
yeah,
that one gig to kind of for that
must be,
financially make sense? It blows my
yeah,
mind.
it is crazy. Yeah. I just think a lot of people don't even really realize that the UK has more than London. It's weird. Or
Yeah.
Birmingham. But there we go. One of the best YouTube videos I watched, going back to the gambling thing that you mentioned, it was a group on the Sidemen hide and seek videos, because I do watch them quite a lot because I think they're actually quite interesting and they've got like a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it was Angry Ginger's group called the Bov Boys. And I've watched Angry Ginger with my son Casper for quite a while now, but they won. Well, one of them won the hide and seek challenge, a guy called Sebastian, and he dressed as a paramedic, and he was like completely hiding in plain sight for the whole hide and seek video, and it was awesome. And then after that video, they got like a limo, and they went to like the closest casino they could find, and the money that they earned from that Sidemen video, I think it was something like 20K, they put it all on red, and they
Oh,
won. And I was like, this video is so well done. And I think it went up like maybe 1 or 2 weeks after that hide and seek video dropped. And I could just tell that they had a team of editors making that video go up as quickly as physical possible. But I was just like, this is so well done. It's got such an interesting story to it. And yeah, I was a bit kind of disappointed in a way that they didn't give some of the money to like a viewer or a fan, because you know, I imagine they've got a couple of quid. If you're in a Sidemen video, it means you're
oh
doing
yeah.
all right usually. But yeah, I just thought it was like super interesting because you mentioned going to a casino. So I hope that that works out for you. But
Well, there you go.
yeah,
That's it. That could be the win.
don't risk what you can't afford to lose and all that. Speaking of money, I don't ever expect anyone to tell me straight up what they earn from YouTube. But is YouTube your primary source of income, or do you also have a 9 to 5 that you subsidize and add
Oh yeah,
to?
hell no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I couldn't live
Yeah,
off YouTube. No way.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
This is like a side project, and what we usually say is if we earn enough to cover like our annual passes and stuff to the places we go to, we're doing well. So um,
Do the
yeah.
annual passes go up quite a lot every year, or do they stay relatively same? Because they're like season passes of like football clubs. It means that you're quite a loyal consumer, doesn't it?
Well, the ones we've got so far, we've been pretty lucky that they've kind of, if you were to cancel them and then start them again, which
Oh,
in my
right.
head I always go, in my head I always think because there's like offers like freebies that you get every time you do it for the first time,
Okay,
and
yeah.
the price does go up. You know what I mean? And then you think, well, is it worth it for the free drinks vouchers or the
Mm,
free invites to something I wouldn't get for free? You kind of think to yourself, is it worth that increase? But usually, what you tend to find with these places is they want to keep you once you've paid that first time. They want to keep your money coming in.
yeah.
Because like I said with theme parks, most of the time you're paying for something and it's closed. Like I'm paying for the
Mm,
Merlin pass at the moment and
mm,
I can't actually visit any of them because they're all closed. So they're getting money
yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I know
Mm,
people who will literally cancel it the minute they close and then wait until like March when it reopens and buy it again. But they are being hit every year with an increase in price over and over, while I'm still on a price that was fair in like 2019 when it was COVID.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to get to a point with this podcast of doing like a tier list with like a visual aid and stuff, but I'm not quite there yet. So we'll kind of just go with what we've got, which is probably just us talking about them. But I think I've sent you this question in advance, so hopefully it's not a bombshell. But what are the top 3 theme parks that you've been to on your YouTube journey?
Top 3 in the world was this, because yeah, 3 in the world. So this year we went to, probably everyone's seen them because it was brand new in 2025. You couldn't miss the marketing. Epic Universe, the newest Universal theme park, and obviously it was so hyped because it's been in the news, but it really is perfection. It's the rides are unlike anything I've ever been to. It's genuinely got my favourite coaster in the world now. It's got my favourite 2 dark rides in the world. Everything about it's perfect. You each of the lands, for a minute, you forget that you're actually in a theme park. There's one based on like the Universal monsters. You go in there and it's terrifying, and you know, I mean, you're walking past like Frankenstein's bride and all that. Amazing. Harry Potter's world is just, it's based on France. So I don't really know what the kind of tie into Harry Potter is, but you do feel like you've gone into France. You're like, hang on.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon. It's just so cool. That's my number 1 for sure. Just insane, just genuinely. Number 2 for me is Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Star Wars was probably the first film as a kid that resonated with me, and followed it ever since. Loved it. And they've got a Star Wars land. Genuinely dream come true. In the Millennium Falcon, there's a ride where you can pilot the Millennium Falcon. Dream come true. I prefer kind of being in the gunnish seat and shooting the TIE fighters down, but it's just perfect, and you just can live this whole day in Star Wars. It's amazing. Third's always a tough one. There's about a few parks that always battle it. There's a park in the Netherlands, and I think I like this one so much because it's really kind of underrated. There's not many people. It doesn't get busy. You know what I mean? You go to Epic Universe, you go to Hollywood Studios, you're waiting 2 or 3 hours for their top coasters. Efteling in the Netherlands is really quiet, and their attractions are just as good, but it's dead, and the people are lovely. Like, they always say about American hospitality, and it is true. American hospitality is beautiful, but the people of the Netherlands are lovely as well. So I think Efteling is probably my number 3, but it's tough. It's close.
Are there any that you haven't been to, say 1 or 2, that you really want to go to? Because I can think of one, which is if you've been to Japan, Nintendo Land looks nuts.
Yeah, well, the Epic Universe has got a Nintendo Land.
Okay.
But yeah, Tokyo Disney is one I'd love to do. The wife said we can do it for my 40th, which is a lot further away than I may look. I may look closer to 40 than I want to be. But yeah, I'm waiting for that. That's definitely top of the bucket list. There's a brand new one that's just opened in Saudi, in Qadar.
Okay.
And I'd love to visit the park, even though it's a bit of a tough one because obviously their principles and all that kind of stuff isn't quite yet. So it's like one of the things like, I'd love to do the park, but I don't agree with the politics of the area. So it's off the cards at the moment. But yeah, Tokyo Disney's probably my bucket list. I'd love to do Tokyo Disney.
Is there one theme park that you've been to where you've expected more, or something went wrong and you potentially didn't get the best result from going? Or is there just one that you've been to that's just been absolutely awful?
Yeah, we had a really bad. So we went to Florida. We go to Florida quite a few times. We got married in Florida, and obviously when we first went, I was terrified of all the rides. Well, this last year was the first year that I'd been like, nothing fazed me. So I thought, when we went to SeaWorld, I'd love it because it's all big coasters. We had the worst day ever. We genuinely had a nightmare day. And the vlog starts really positive and me looking forward to it. doing the first few coasters, thinking, yeah, great. And then
Totally.
it just takes this nosedive.
Yeah,
Customer service is appalling.
yeah,
We paid for fast tracks, and when people just there was nobody checking these fast tracks, so people without them were just jumping in front of you. And you're like, hang on, I've paid money for this. Free dining, we paid for free dining, but nobody told us they didn't do breakfast. So for the first like 3 hours of your day,
yeah,
you're like, well, I could have a proper sit down Chinese meal or something. Who wants that? So we had to pay for our own breakfast because that wasn't included. It was not great. And then it got to the afternoon. This park was open till 9 o'clock at night. Stopped serving at 6 food.
right,
So I've paid for what am I actually paid this for? All day dining as
yeah,
much as I want to eat, but I can't from the time. I can only eat from 12 till 6. And then we had this situation where even though the storage for your bags next to all these rides, you had to pay for a locker
right,
for every ride. So every time we went to a ride, we had to pay like $2 to put our stuff away.
yeah, yeah,
We had this timeout thing, so we'd got on one ride, it shut because of a storm. Nothing to do with us. We were on the ride,
yeah,
stuck in it, waiting for the storm to pass over so they could send it.
yeah.
Time expired on the locker.
Oh my
Now we'd
gosh.
put a
Yeah,
wallet in the locker, so we couldn't extend the time. We couldn't pay any money. Went to customer service and said, "Look, this is the situation. Can you release it? I don't mind paying once you've opened it. I just can't." Oh no, that was couldn't do. They were unwilling to do anything at all, and it was shocking. I'm diabetic, and we luckily got around it because of my medical condition. I was saying like, I need to get to my medicine. I need to
yeah,
get to my medicine, and they had to get a manager to come down to us. And well, to be honest, the manager was really good. The manager was like, I don't know why there was a problem. There shouldn't have been a problem at all. There should have been dead easy. They should have sorted it. But it
yeah,
makes you feel even angrier that these people were willing to kind
yeah,
of waste 2 or 3 hours of your day, kind of
yeah,
going,
yeah,
no, you have to pay. You got no money on your car. I can't do anything. You have to keep all your stuff in there.
yeah.
Mad. But
I've
yeah, it
got
was a bad day.
I've got one as well, thinking about it. There's a place in Salou, with Matty and his wife Charlotte and one of my ex girlfriends. And it was the same week that we went to Ferrari Land and Portaventura, and it was called Aqua Polo, and
Oof.
it is hell on earth, mate. Everyone that works there is miserable. No one wants to be there, and it's usually just a place that you go to sort of fill the time out. And I remember this really specifically because it was Turtwig Community Day on Pokemon Go, and I really had to think if I wanted to like go in as, go to this park or just grind for 3 hours on
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. But you go with the crowd sometimes, don't you? And the whole water park, bro, was completely fucked. Nothing worked, and everything was going on your weight as a human being.
Oh,
And I thought, what a strange metric to have. So I think I might, when I get a new phone at some point, and I can actually put some bloody apps on this phone without it exploding and bursting into flames, I might actually get TripAdvisor again because the review I left was absolutely. I spent probably about an hour writing this review because I was just like, I'm absolutely disgusted by the way that you spoke to us. And
oh,
they were like, "Oh, you can't go on this ride. You're like 5 pounds overweight." And I was just
shocking,
like,
isn't it? That's
"Wow."
absolutely awful.
And there was a point where we got like some deck chairs, and this guy was legitimately chasing us around the park for money. And I was just like, I'm not paying
Wow.
to sit on a deck chair for 10 minutes. Like, just get a better system. And there was like
Wow.
no app, there was no way of like pre-booking anything. The rides, a lot of them were very sort of you have to sit in like a donut, the rubber dinghies or whatever they're called. And I just felt like no one wanted to be there. It was like a purgatory state, and it was just so strange. And everything that you asked for, obviously, because there was a language barrier, I was just like, this is really taxing, and this isn't fun. Like, this is just everything's like a brick wall. And I'm
Oh,
like, I can't be asked with this. And it just really felt like the sort of Twilight Zone. It felt like I'd been in like an episode of Black Mirror or something. I was like, this isn't actually happening, is it? And like everyone around me is like, yeah, this is bad. Like, this isn't even Ben moaning for the sake of moaning. This is legitimately bad. And I think at
That's it, though,
one
isn't it?
point, Aquapolo actually emailed me directly and said, "What can we do to make this right?" Because they saw my scathing review on TripAdvisor, and then they never responded to me again.
Wow,
So they
that's
reached
amazing.
out to me, which I appreciate, and then nothing happened. But yeah, sorry, you were saying something.
Just that's it though. You go to a theme park or anything like that, and you're expecting it. You're going to enjoy something,
Yeah,
aren't you? And you go in there and being confronted by miserable stuff. I say this about Blackpool Pleasure Beach every time I
yeah,
go. Like, there's so much history and the rides are so good, but the staff don't want to be there. They
exactly.
don't. The whole thing is they don't want to be employed there. They're thinking, oh, if this place shut tomorrow, we'd be better off.
Yeah.
And you just get a horrible vibe from people like that straight away. So you don't want to be a park like that. And then that weight thing's shocking.
It was
There's
so
a roller
strange.
coaster,
Yeah,
the roller coaster at Chessington World of Adventures, right? They've got one at Alton Towers, the same one. You do the one at Alton Towers, no, there's nothing, no, or at least I don't know that there's anything. There's no kind of weights, there's no kind of scales. You do the one at Chessington, your group gets on scales beforehand,
mm,
and if it goes red, they have to split your group because you're too heavy. And I'm like, what? Well, there's no rule like that. What's that about? And then they tell you as well, and you don't want that, do you? That's the last thing you want. Is like, too heavy for this. What?
yeah, yeah.
Awful.
How about you like slightly increase the price of your park and fund like stuff actually being able to take the weight of a human being, like not a 6-year-old child. Just
Yeah, that's
mad.
it. It's
Like,
madness.
and also like even if your theme park's not got like really, really good rides, just make the staff give a shit. Because
Oh
it
yeah, I've been
doesn't
to
have
some
to be
really
10 out of 10 bangers everywhere all the time. Like, even the big theme parks aren't constant. You've got like Swarm and you've got Soar and you've got Colossus and all that sort of stuff. But just pretend to care. Do you know what
That's
I
it. So
mean?
that's more of it. Like the amount
Mad.
of parks have been where substandard. We
Yeah.
went to one in Skegness called Bottoms. I had no idea it was. I thought it was going to be a Jippo park. And it kind of is, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Like unfair rides stuck in a park, but the staff were lovely, and it had like this world class dark ride. I thought, oh, that's good, but the staff were lovely, and that puts you to side. If I'd been to like the same park and they'd been like shouting at you and like dog muck everywhere. It's a totally different
Yeah.
feeling. You let a bad, you let not so good rides go if you're
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah, completely. Do you have any questions for me at all? As someone that's been doing a podcast for 5 years, I'm a pretty open book. I'm happy to speak about most things.
So I guess kind of I had a couple of things, but they weren't actually podcast related. I watched a
Hmm.
video you did about down. I'm a big rock and metal fan, and I don't know if I put that out as much as I should.
Okay.
But obviously, I saw your video about the Download Festival
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your thoughts on the lineup. I want to know
Hmm.
what your dream lineup would actually be, because
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a fan of the announcement. We used to go every year. Last year wasn't for me. I can't lie, like I liked the idea of them taking a big gamble on these bands like Sleep Token, Green Day, and was it Panic at the Disco? Was it big bands they don't normally have? And I thought, oh, this is
yeah,
exciting, but it wasn't for me. So I thought, oh, maybe next
it's
year.
tricky.
Really disappointed this year. So
Do you,
what would you go for if you were planning the headliners?
the three headliners?
Yeah,
I'd really, really want to see Russian Circles. They are one of the best instrumental bands I know. And they've got like this weird sort of incessant dark theme to them, the music they write. I've posted so much of their stuff on my Instagram recently, to the point where Matty's actually created a template for me saying now listening to Absolute Bedlam, and it's just a Spotify screenshot in the center of it. I really, really like Devin Townsend. I think he's one of the best musicians out there. I'd really like to see him headline the stage because I think he's got what it takes. I'd quite like to see Sleep Token again. I'd also like to see Deftones. I'm really surprised they weren't on the lineup for
hey, that
2026.
is me. Deftones would be me. I remember my first ever one. There were some
Yeah,
headliners. I loved it, and I think
yeah,
they have got even better since
yeah,
2006, whatever year it was. So yeah, I agree.
yeah.
So it would
I,
be
I really also want to see Billy Talent. because I haven't really checked them out in a while. And I saw them at Download 2009, and they were quite low on the bill because, naturally you ascend the ladder, don't you? But my absolute favourite band of all time, I don't know if they'd ever headline Download, but they've played Download a few times as like a low slot, is a band called In Me. I
Yes,
absolutely love
they
them.
were like him.
I've spoken to quite a few of their members on this podcast, and they're super nice guys, and they've all got normal jobs as well. They're quite down to earth and chill. So, but yeah, I think that's a good 3, 4, 5 bands. But yeah, good question. Thank you for that. Awesome. Um, yeah, I just want to quickly say as well, thanks for being so naturally positive. I can tell just by meeting you through Zoom that you're a bit of a glass half full kind of person.
The way you've got to be in
Sometimes
it.
sometimes I get called a pessimist or a negative Nancy, but I do consider myself to be a bit of a realist. Last question I'm going to leave you with, and then we'll promote the future projects if we've got time. Is in terms of taking the bins out, do you know which bin you need to take out at which time of the week? Are you a binfluencer, or do you follow what the other people in your street do?
Oh no, we are the opposite. Yeah, sometimes we like to think of ourselves as the influencers, and
Yeah,
then we have to Google what the bin is. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
are usually the first people, but
Love
only
that.
because we then go and Google. At the moment, though, this snow, I don't know what it's like your end.
Yeah, yeah,
Bins been out for a week and a half. Still not, they're still not come for it. So
yeah.
hopefully they're coming to do double.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, we've just had loads of ice down here because we're like proper southwest. So yeah, there's not too much snow going on at the moment, but I know how reactive people are in the UK to snow, and it's usually panic, panic, panic.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, that's it. Anything that you want to promote at the end? Any videos that you're looking forward to doing soon? Any sort of shout outs you want to give? You got sort of 3.5 minutes. Go mental.
so yeah, we're like I say, this week we're off to Fantasia Land, and I'm
Hmm.
going to take on. I've decided stupidly that I'm actually going to take on one of these big drop towers.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Watch this
say that
space.
it may not happen. We went a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and I didn't. So,
Okay.
and I did say I would, but I conquered other things then, so I had no excuse. This time I've got to do it, or I've got nothing exciting to say I conquered. So,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently it's a big one. So
Fair enough.
I've got some. Like I say, we've taken a friends, the Coast of Capturers, go check them out.
Yeah.
So they're going to kind of force me onto it, I guess. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. And then you watch a diabetic walk around a chocolate factory as well, not able to eat any of the chocolate. That'll be fun.
That's a YouTube video.
That's going to be the one.
Yeah, fair enough. And good luck with spinning the casino and gambling the money. I hope it goes
A long
well.
way away, so I'm hoping
Yeah.
we do earn a lot of money to waste away in one
If we
spin.
see on Instagram that you're suddenly selling loads of like audio equipment and cameras,
Yeah.
then we'll figure it
All
out.
the cameras go on sale.
But yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for spending some time with us and taking some time out of your day to chat with us. And yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Keep it
Pleasure.
bedlam.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and PayPal links down below if you guys want to send me some money. All right, bye.